Good morning, students. Today we'll see the meaning and importance of organizations. Before we start organization, we will see what is organizing. A weak organizations can put the good products into soil, but the good organizations having a poor product can drive out the good products from the market. This means that a weak organization, the organization which is not which is weak, they put the good products into the soil. That means they lose the market. They cannot produce the good products, and therefore it goes into vain whatever they do. But a good organization having a poor products, even though they have a medium quality product or low quality product, still they drive out. Their organization is such, they work in such a manner that the good products that those that are in the market, they remove them from the market. So this is the importance of organizations. This is what is organizations. Now here we understand that an organization should be very good. If an organization is very good, then they can sell their products in the market, even though there are much more better products which exists in the market. Now in the meaning, the origin of word organization is from the organisms. Actually the organization word came from the organisms. The meaning of the organisms is a living individual or a group of independent parts. Now, organisms means a living individual, that means a human being, or the individual parts which work in a group. The organization means organization of human being or a group of people. That means organization is nothing but a group of people. Organization is a group of people working together cooperatively under authority towards achieving goals and objects that mutually benefit the participants and organizations. This means that organization is a group of people. There are few peoples, that as we know, two or more than two peoples. They work together cooperatively, where they cooperate with each other, and there is an authority to guide them towards achieving goals and objectives. And once the goals and objectives is achieved, from there they benefit, they get the benefit. Both of them, they get the benefit, they share the benefit. That who are they that they share the benefit? That is participants and the organizations. Both of them, they mutually benefit out of that. Now if we see the characteristics of organizations, characteristics of organization is, first is organization should have a two or more than two person. Now one man cannot make organizations, one man cannot make organizations, so there should be at least two or more persons. There is no restrictions on the maximum numbers. For maximum numbers of people, there is no restrictions. Next is organization should have a specific objects. Now organization should have a specific, without objects, group of people cannot be termed as organization. Suppose 3, 4, 5 people, they have gathered together, but they do not have any objectives or objects. That is not called as an organization. If any group of people, they join together with a common objectives, then it is an organization. For example, in school, if we talk about our school, then every school has a students, teachers and authority. There are 3 different levels in the organizations. The head, that's top level. Middle level comes where the school teachers are there, and the third level where the students are there. So all these people, student, teachers, authorities, all they are group of people, and they have a common objects of securing better result. So this is an organizations. Next is, organization should have predetermined objects. Organization should have predetermined objects. That means, as we know that planning is done, planning is the first primary functions of the first primary functions of the management. Now there we in advance we determine the aims or the goals. Here in the, that is already decided upon in the while we do planning. Now that aims or objectives is the goal of the organizations, and it is beforehand, it is determined, decided. Means actually the aim of the organizations or the goal of the organization is decided beforehand. This is what it is said. Organization should have a group of people. Every organization should have a group of people. Organizations can be of persons only, and organizations can be of only persons. Organization should have leadership. Every group of people, the group of people that they are working in the various branches of the company, there should be a leader who looks after the work of the people, and also looks after the coordinations and cooperations among the people. That means a manager or a supervisor is selected, who is called as a leader, and he looks after everything in his department: the working environment, the relationship among the people, and the work they are doing, whether they are doing it according to the plan or not, that they look after. So leadership is required in every place, and also in the direction. Next is, organization is a process. Now organization is a process. It means some work always goes on in it, as purchase, sales, marketing, mutual coordinations, communications, etc. So this is a continuous process. Now in organization, generally the things that goes on are purchase, sales, marketing. Purchase means I think you understood. Sales also you understood. Marketing means advertising about the product that a company is producing. Then mutual coordinations. The coordination should be there between the various branches of the people that they are working for the common goals. And the communication, one should communicate with the others. So these are the things which goes on continuously years after years in an organization. So it is called as a process. Now organization is a functional process. Why it is called functional process? It is called functional process because group of people sit in a lonely place for 1 week. It will not be an organization. If few people they gather together and sit in a place without any objectives or without any work, simply sitting is not an simply getting together or getting together in a place is not an organization. For organizations, everyone should do certain activities, and these activities should relate to the specific goals. So this is why it is called the functional process. Next is coordination of employees. Organization exists to coordinate the work of the employees in any enterprise, because in organizations, employees and their work cannot be segregated. Now this means that the organizations should coordinate. Organizations exists there. We can call an organization only when the coordination between the work of the people, work of the employees in an enterprise, in a firm, That means the organizations coordinates the works of the employees in an enterprises. Organizations should have a formal relationship. In organizations, there should be formal relations among all the members. Those who are working in that organizations, all should have a formal relationship among themselves. And this organization protects the rights and duties in the relationship. Organization exists everywhere. If we talk about organization, it exists everywhere, in the politics, in the family, in the society, in economy. It is present, hence it is omnipresent. Omnipresent means they are present everywhere. Now let's go to the objective of organizations. What are the objectives? What are the objectives of the organization? Objectives means, first objective is economy in productions. That means the organizations that they are producing, they should produce goods at a minimum cost. It should the cost should not be maximum. And as you know, in this competitive world where every second organizations is producing the same thing what we are producing. So one more thing is that in the present market, if we go to the market, we will see a goods has its alternative. So when every good has its alternative, their competition rises. And to face the competition of the present day market, the cost should be minimum. So this is the first objectives of the organization. Second is economy in time and labor. Now, organizations, in an organization, every organization at this present day world, at the present situation, they look for the best machines, equipments and best methods they apply. Now why in organizations they look for the best machines, equipments and methods so that they can time save and labor, and this is how they earn the maximum profit. Next is cordial relationship between labor and capital. Now labor and capital, these are the two important factors of productions. These are the two important factors of productions. Now there should be a relationship between the labor and the capital organizations employs. So for this the best entrepreneur is appointed. The best entrepreneur is appointed to safeguard at the interest of the labor and capital. The interest of labor and capital is safeguarded, is protected by the entrepreneur who is appointed in an organization. Next is spirit of service. Now spirit of service means serve first then profit. The spirit, the organization, any organization should have this as their objective, that is spirit of service. This means that every organization should serve the people first and then they should go for the profit. Now let's come to importance of organization. Importance of organization is effective formulation of policies. The policies should be framed by the administration of any enterprises. It is the job of the management to formulate all the policies of the organizations. Next is encouragement to specialization. Now, every organization every organization is based upon the principles of division of labor. As you know, division of labor means here the labors are separated according to the labors are actually identified according to their specializations. And specializations means we will look for in the labor is that what he is good at. That means we will see the labor, we will recruit the labor according to their interest, their skills. So this is what it is, division of labor. Increase in managerial efficiency. Priority is given to cooperation, coordination and discipline in the sound organization. That means a sound organization has a three element, that is cooperation, coordination and discipline. So these are the three things that a organization, sound organization have. So the work is done at the earliest. If these three elements exists in the organizations, then the work can be done at the earliest. And if work is done at the earliest, then it will allow us to compete in the market. Next we see to work systematically. Now where there is organization, every person performs his duty as per pre-directions, and then it is clearly directed in the organization about the execution of work. This means that in an organization, every workers is directed beforehand. They are made clear about the work, where, by whom it is to be done, when it is to be done, where is to be done, and which work is to be done. So these are the things which are clarified to the workers beforehand, so that the work goes on systematically. Increase in production efficiency. Where there is a sound organizations, the work efficiency will increase, because the people in that organizations, they work with the full devotion. Then mutual cooperations. That means every organizations, good organizations, there exists a mutual cooperations and brotherhood. That means in an organizations, every workers, they work with the cooperations of each other, and where there is a cooperations among themselves, the brotherhoodness automatically exists there. Prevent corruptions. The organizations, the main function of the organizations is to prevent, one of the main importance of the organization is to prevent the corruptions. That means where there is a good organizations, there cannot be any corruptions. So this is all about the importance. Then best control. For the best control, organizations is required. Organizing should be done so that the control can be exercised. Now let us see the main characteristics of ideal organizations. Authority from top to bottom should be clearly mentioned. Now, ideal organizations means a good organizations which can be an example for other organizations. This is called an ideal organization. Ideal main characteristics of ideal organization is that authority from top to bottom should be clearly mentioned. Now, all the various levels of authorities should be mentioned responsibility should also be clearly mentioned. Everyone should be explained, should be cleared about their responsibility. Whatever the responsibility they needs to be performed in the organizations. All the members of the organization should be cautious towards objectives. Now, all the members that they are there in the organization should be whatever they should be doing, or whatever the decision they are taking, that should lead to the achievement of the objectives of the organization. Area of control should not be wide. The area of control should not be very wide. Communication should be effective. The communication should be very good. There should be quality of stability. Now, organization should be stable. If it is unstable, then we cannot achieve the objectives. There remains a high moral among the employers. Now, those who are employers, they should have a high morals. So this is all about the ideal organizations. These are the characteristics of the ideal organizations. Now let's go to the that's all for today, and the next topic I will explain in the next video. Thank you.